Hi guys! Today we are exploring more of Lesotho.
We're actually now somewhere in the midland part of the country and we're proceeding quite far up high into the mountains behind.
Just look at this view. There's green grass all around and there are mountains all over this country.
Yeah, I mean majority of the landscape here is just the mountains, and as you go further towards the east of the country, it's the Drakensberg, which is the highest fold mountain range in Africa.
Yeah.
But it doesn't have the highest peak though. That's still Kilimanjaro in Tanzania.
But this country is reminding me so much about Kyrgyzstan because of the landscape. There are horses everywhere and there are sheep grazing on the grass.
It's peak summer.
Yeah.
But look at how green everything is. We figured things would have run dry by now, but because they get a bit of summer rainfall, everything is so lush green and there's little sheep everywhere. See there? That are grazing. And this is pretty much the kind of view we've been seeing for the last few kilometers. So today we actually started from Maseru, the capital city. We are here with our new friends. We took a pretty long drive, but the views are really nice. As we left the city, we also got to see a bit of how busy the weekend traffic was like, which isn't really much. Today is Saturday. So this is pretty much what the entire view looked like.
On the way, we even stopped at a ShopRite stop, picked up some snacks for the road trip, and even stopped at a braai shop and they picked up some chicken, pork. Braai on the streets of Lesotho. I think this is beef and all those are pork.
I mean, we are vegetarian. We couldn't really pick up something from those stalls, but we did get some snacks. We got corn on a cob and some chips. And
we're snacking on some corn in the car. That means we're going on a road trip today.
After getting some food, we turned off from the road that goes along the South African border and we started to turn inland. And now we've come about 30 kilometers or so, and now we can actually see the mountain range starting, and this view is...
Yeah, and every few kilometers there's a tiny village and we see horses tied to, like horses parked in the houses of people in these villages. Yeah. And once in a while I see people wearing a very nice colorful dress with a long cloth behind them.
I think that must be one of the traditional dresses here. Hopefully we get to see somebody much more up close.
But our plan for the day is to go to Katse Dam, which is about 4 hours from Maseru, and we're somewhere halfway there now.
So Katse Dam is supposed to be one of the most impressive feats of architecture here, and of course it's of great importance not just to Lesotho but also to South Africa. Anyway, we'll learn more about it and also introduce you to our new friends who are very camera shy.
Hello.
So this is Hari.
Hi.
And that's Lakshmi in the back. So they've been super nice to host us at their home. And that's how now we've come up on this road trip.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Can you believe we are at 3,100 meters above sea level?
We're at the very top of the mountain pass now.
This is called the Mafika Pass.
You can actually look down at the plains below. So far away that actually leads into South Africa right there. And all of this behind us, I guess eventually leads to the Drakensberg mountains. I actually don't know if you're on the Drakensberg right now.
But it's so cold and windy.
It's super windy here. Super windy. So what's happening now?
So now we are just opening all our food and it's lunchtime.
You have Hari.
I got pap and pork.
Pap and pork. So pap is mili meal.
Yeah.
It's the traditional Lesotho meal.
Here we have chakalaka.
It's through all of Africa, right?
Yeah.
And we've been seeing this.
Yeah.
And chakalaka.
Chakalaka and moroho.
Moroho.
Having pap and chicken. And
Okay.
we also have some cabbage.
Cabbage.
Have some chips and
What do we?
what do we have?
Chips and we have
Oh yeah, salad.
So far,
Salad.
Lesotho doesn't really have a lot of vegetarian options. But
So we have some chips and potato salad and some carrots and apples and bananas and some Oreos and some Lays. We have a lot.
okay. What is this?
It's called intake something.
Intake. Okay.
Yeah.
And the water goes from here to?
To South Africa.
I've now made it to Katse Dam. This Katse Dam is actually the one that supplies most of the fresh water down to the neighboring cities in South Africa. And in typical African fashion, there's loud African music.
But this dam is so big.
What are we doing, Shish?
We're going to watch the dam from a different angle. And this is supposed to be the best spot to watch it. We are right now sitting right opposite to the Katse Dam, and the view from here is so nice. You can actually see the water on that side, the big dam, and then the water on this side, and mountains on all its sides.
So we're actually at the visitor center, which is where you get the best view. But what we learnt about the dam, it was so fascinating, so I thought I'd share.
It's the second biggest dam in Africa.
The first one's actually in Ethiopia, but this isn't small either. The entire arch, it's one of the 10 largest dams in the world when it comes to this design. So it's actually 700 meters wide, that arch, and 200 meters tall nearly. This dam was actually built by a bunch of companies that are representing South Africa, because the water here is not just for Lesotho, it's majorly for South Africa, which has definitely a lot more water issues than here. The water collects in these mountains because most of the time Lesotho is up in the clouds and there's always water here. And this water actually flows down a 45-kilometer tunnel and then reaches South Africa eventually. And from there it is pumped to so many towns and cities over there. So this water is so important to South Africa. South Africa actually pays $35 million every year plus royalty for using water from here. That's the kind of fee they have for using this water. And this project actually cost $8 billion to build. So it's the first time we are seeing something worth $8 billion. That's pretty cool. So this design is actually called a double arch dam. So there's one there and one below. And this one is very, very largely curved because there's also a road running on top. And it's holding back like probably 45-50 kilometers of water, if I'm not wrong. And then it goes down here, fills up the second one, which spills over also. And then it flows all the way down that way. But then there are a few intakes which actually collect the water somewhere inland there, and that water actually goes through tunnels and eventually reaches a point where it empties into a canal. And they also have like a hydroelectric power station, which is how Lesotho gets most of its electricity.
You see that little disc there right in the middle of that dam area, and there's a small boat approaching it. They actually farm fishes there. There's a specific species which is found only here. It's called the Katse trout.
Mudfish.
Mudfish?
Yes.
What is that?
The one who has
The mustache.
Yeah.
We are standing in the center of the dam now, and if you look below, it's so deep.
200 meters down. And the craziest part is because the dam is actually an arch and it curves down below as it eases into the water, there's so much of wind blowing all the way up. It's gushing up and then it's just like making hair fly and whatnot. I've always wanted to experience this. And now on the other side of the dam, and this is all of the backwaters. I think it stretches up so far behind, and it's windy here also. But what you see behind us over there, that's the trout fish farming setup that Shish was talking about earlier.
Yeah.
I think there's a little boat there with a couple of farmers, fish farmers, who are, I guess, gathering today's herd or flock or school. What do you say?
School of fish.
School of fish. And right here, you can actually see the spillover dam. So this is where the water actually exits when it gets really high up, like filled with water. I think there's still about 30 feet of water that should fill up before it begins to spill over on top. And then you can actually see the water down there below as well. It was inaugurated by Nelson Mandela and the King of Lesotho. Hello, sir. Are you going to Mr. Hari Krishna's house?
Yes,
Thank you,
yes,
thank you,
let's
thank you.
London
Take photo.
fruit.
Take photo.
London takeaways. Pet Sink London.